the GTK 290 from Evanix. It's a lot of fun.
Korean manufacturer Evanix has ventured into new territory with their radical new lineup of airguns such as the Max BULLPUP, Rainstorm 3D, and the GTK 290 featured on today's episode. If I was to speculate about the inspiration behind these new designs, from their anodized aluminum frames, pistol grips, and flat surface fascias, I'd say the designers were inspired by a combination of science fiction and modern industrial-looking weaponry. As a science fiction fan, I thought of the MORITA, the standard issue carbine used by the mobile infantry in the 1997 movie Starship Troopers. And it's also quite possible that a photograph of the RFB semi-auto rifle from Kel-Tec CNC Industries may have been nearby the designer's sketchpad. With that said, I happen to like the look of these new Evanix rifles for their sci-fi appeal. The anodizing on the aluminum is first class, with a greenish-gray gunmetal color, rounded corners, socket head cap screws, and user-friendly beveled edges everywhere. Looking at the GTK 290 is simply not enough. It begs to be picked up, shouldered, and pointed to be truly appreciated. The GTK 290 shown here is a 9mm semi-automatic repeater with a battery-powered electronic breech. The rifle comes with an instruction manual, wall charger, an 8.6-volt battery, fill probe, and 2 rotary magazines that hold 7 rounds each. The battery needs to be charged for at least 8 hours before using the rifle, and you can expect about 150 shots on a charge in fair weather. An optional 9.6-volt battery is said to be available, but it's only recommended for very cold weather shooting. Like other Evanix rifles with electronic breeches, there's a power switch on the left side and a manual safety on the right. I'm told the 9mm version has been upgraded with a more powerful motor, an 8-cell battery, and a heavier hammer spring, allowing the bolt probe to cycle those big slugs into the chamber with reliable consistency. The overall length of the rifle is 36 inches, weighs almost 9 pounds, and the rifled barrel is just over 17 inches. Weaver rails on the top and bottom of the frame give you plenty of options for mounting optics and accessories. If you plan on using a scope with an objective lens bigger than 42mm, high ring should be used, but that's okay, the stock has an adjustable cheek piece. There's a hand grip on the bottom rail that can be repositioned to suit your preferences, and a feature I would have liked is a telescoping stock to customize the rifle even further. The battery compartment is easily accessible by removing the rubber pad on the stock. Speaking of compartments, I discovered one inside the pistol grip while examining the rifle. The magazines unfortunately don't fit inside, but it's not a bad place to store ammo. At the back of the 290cc reservoir, there's a pressure gauge with a 250 bar max, but recommended fills are between 2,900 and 3,000 psi. .72 grain JSB exact 9mm ammo was used for the chrony and accuracy testing. A 10-shot string gave me the following results: a low velocity of 596 feet per second, a high of 709, an average of 676, an extreme spread of 112 feet per second, and a standard deviation of 34 feet per second. Based on the average velocity, the GTK 290 is producing close to 79 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. I sighted in my Hawk Sidewinder scope at 30 yards, then moved the target out to 50 yards and made some adjustments. The first 7 pellets made one ragged hole, so I loaded another magazine to see what the rifle was capable of. Most of those big JSBs fell right into the same hole without any noticeable drop. Okay, now I'm impressed. After 14 shots, the pressure gauge was reading just over 100 bar, so I charged it back up to 2850 psi. I would say between 14 and 17 shots is the GTK's maximum per fill-up. Time to move the target out to 75 yards. Without adjusting elevation on the scope, my point of impact moved to the 5 o'clock position. Yet again, I was pleased by a group measuring 1 inch center to center. My bench shooting didn't stop there. I was determined to move the target out to 90 yards. But first, I tried one at 80. The GTK 290's trigger is electronic and non-adjustable. Manufacturer's specs put the weight at 2.6 pounds, but in my test, it was lighter at 1 pound 11.7 ounces. I find electronic triggers easy to get used to after only a few shots, and you can definitely feel when the relay switch on the GTK is about to activate the breech after a bit of travel. Although the barrel is shrouded, I don't believe there's any sound suppression material inside of it. In my test, I reached a maximum of 104 decibels, putting the GTK 290 in the high loudness category. This is not a backyard shooter, but a serious hunting rifle for the field. Folks, the GTK 290 is effortlessly accurate. Charge it up, sight it in, and you'll be hitting your mark with precision and power. The fit and finish is excellent, and the rifle has a solid, robust feel to it. The futuristic design is not for everyone's taste, but this airgunner really likes the tactical look and feel. The 9mm version with its 8.6-volt battery and more powerful motor shot flawlessly for 300 test rounds, but I did charge the battery after the first 180 shots. I would have liked a stock that was adjustable to some degree for length of pull. Also, I'd like to see Evanix phase out the need for O-ring dependent fill probes and add quick fill connectors to all their products. The bottom line is, the GTK 290 is just plain fun to shoot and would be devastating on medium-sized game. If the ability to take down multiple targets quickly and accurately was one of the goals for Evanix, they have truly succeeded, even beyond my expectations. For Airgun Reporter, my name is Paul Capello. Until next time, shoot safe and have fun.
Please remember, folks, air guns are not toys. Even the smallest calibers can cause serious harm if not used properly. And you should never, under any circumstance, point an air gun at another person. Parents, if you teach your children to shoot responsibly, they will have a lifetime of air gun enjoyment.